On this episode, it's just me on my own. Yeah, Sadie left me. And I talk about how long you should be working out for, what are the best exercises for fat loss, what's actually important when it comes to fat loss, what's the latest time you should be eating before you go to bed, and is there anything wrong with artificial sweeteners? So I'm gonna get right into it with question number 1. So first question comes from Yovna, and she says, some say short and intense workouts are more effective, but others say something else. What would you say is the most effective time frame to give each workout? Now, there's no specific time frame that is the best or most beneficial. What I would say is go by your lifestyle and do what you can fit in. And also think of it like this. The longer you work out, hold on, I'm gonna draw something. Alright, so basically, if you take a look at this, it's a graph. 0 minutes, and then we've got going up in time. And here's intensity. So as your workout time goes up, your intensity will go up, but only to a certain point. After your time starts to increase, the intensity will drop. So you need to find that optimal balance for you and the purpose of your training. So around the middle mark, which would be anywhere between half an hour to 45 minutes to up to the hour mark, is going to be the optimal range depending on what you're trying to do. So if you're doing weights, for example, you want to go on the higher end. If you're doing like a high intensity interval training cardio session, you want to go towards the lower end. If you're doing like a long slow duration cardio session, you're going to go higher. All depends on what you're trying to achieve and the purpose of that workout. Now I know your goal is fat loss, so what I would say is keep it on the medium range, focus on the weights first. So do your strength training, and that will take you about 45 minutes, and then you can do some high intensity cardio as well to kind of keep the workouts quite short. Your second question was, what are the best exercises for fat loss? Now, there's no best exercise for fat loss. Yeah, you could do whatever exercise you want, and none of them will help you lose weight if your nutrition's not in order. So what you need to do is look at training from a point of view that you're trying to get stronger and fitter. When you pick exercises to help you get stronger and fitter, you'll also see results if you're looking after your nutrition. I didn't really feel like I helped answer that question there. I kind of gave something very general. So what I will also add to that is try to pick compound exercises that work larger muscle groups. So things like squats, things like press-ups, things like pull-ups. So big exercises that work a lot of muscles. Alright, so question number 3 comes from Matt. He asks, he says, the majority of my eating is done in the evening time. Is it really bad for me to eat majority of my calories in one meal? Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's not the best thing to do for a variety of reasons, for muscle retention, just the impact it's going to have on your mood. And if you do save a lot of your calories for the last meal, you tend to kind of overeat at that last meal because you'll be so hungry. But when it comes down to it, there's no hard and fast rule. So if you look at it like this, there's a level of importance. Number 1 is always calories. You should be focusing on how much you're eating in the day before you focus on anything else. Number 2 is macros and fiber. Macronutrients is your protein, fats and carbs. Now, protein is going to be the most important, then looking at fats and carbs. So how much of those you eat is the second most important thing. Number 3 is going to be your micronutrients and your water. So the amount of nutrients you're getting in, vitamins and minerals, and the amount of water you're drinking per day. From there, then you're looking at timings. So meal timing and how often you're eating in the day. And then the thing that is the least important is supplements. So yours is 4th. So looking at doing the other 3 things will be more important than looking at that number 4, what time to eat. Alright, Kalina asked something quite similar. So question number 4 is, what's the latest time you should eat so it doesn't affect you in the morning? Kalina trains quite early in the morning, so really just, it's up to you. That's it. That's the answer. It's totally up to you and how you respond to training. I mean, I could eat at 12 in the night and then train at 5 in the morning. Everyone's different. If you can't train on a full stomach or with food in you, don't do it. Okay, Kalina also asked, is there a bad side of using sweeteners instead of sugar in tea, even though it saves on calories, when you're having 3 to 4 cups a day? No, it's actually a good thing, because imagine you were adding sugar into every cup, 3 to 4 cups a day. That's quite a lot of carbs if it adds up in a day like that. So you're actually doing a good thing. Now, I know a lot of people will slate me for saying that artificial sweeteners are good for you. I'm not saying they're good for you. They don't add any nutritional benefits, but they're not bad for you. There's so much research out there, if you look at scientific research, showing that artificial sweeteners are not bad for you. They don't impact your blood sugar level. They don't trick you into eating more food. They don't have any chemical voodoo reactions in your brain, or they definitely don't cause cancer or anything like that. Read the actual research. I actually wrote a blog about this. It wasn't about sweeteners, it was about Diet Coke. So I'll link that up here and you can have a read of that. But yeah, they're not bad for you, but they're not particularly good for you in terms of they're not adding any nutritional benefits to you. So yeah. What is bad for you though is the fact that you're trying to make your tea sweet. Tea should be strong, not sweet. So that's this week's Q&A done. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And I'm sorry if you missed Sadie. She'll be back next week. Send her some hate mail here. I'll link up her email address.